l'engagement, la vitesse, la hauteur. Oh, incroyable!
This is what we come to the FISE for. This energy is found nowhere else in the world. The best crowd, the best energy. Montpellier, the FISE is back.
Montpellier, make some noise!
What's up, FISE family? And welcome back. What's up, FISE family? And welcome back to the last day of FISE on Montpellier, the first stop of the FISE World Series. We're getting ready to check on the final battle in the skateboarding competition, the Battle of the Lez, the river that lies just next to the skate competition that we're going to be having. My name is Egon, and I'm being joined here today in the studio by Mark Churchill.
Hello, mate. I'm so stoked to be out here in Montpellier. The sun is absolutely scorching, and it is going to be such a great competition today. We've got that battle format, which is so exciting, and we've got some of the biggest names in skateboarding here.
Now, last year we had a way different format here on the skate park, but we've changed things up. So you went to Macau just 2 months ago, where we had the Battle of the Champions, where we had this whole new format for this competition.
Yeah, so you've got two skaters going head-to-head. We're going to have split screen, replays in the middle. There's so much going on. You're going to be cross-eyed. You don't know where to look at what time, because the consistency of these skateboarders as well is absolutely top-notch. So there's going to be so much action, and it's really hard to keep up, but it's so exciting.
Now, one thing to be mindful of today is the heat as well, because even though we have the river right next to the park, it is scorching hot.
The river is actually boiling. It's frothing over with the excitement that's going on down here. And as you said, we've got a black course. It's a huge course as well. And people are really struggling with that heat. 30+ degrees, you know, I mean, it's warm in here, let alone out there.
Something that we've heard the entire weekend. The heat that comes into play, people having heat strokes after going all in during their runs. Now, tell us a bit more about the park setup.
So we got this huge park, 45 meters long, 15 meters wide. That's 720 square meters of skatable terrain. But as you can see from the screen, we've got classic kind of obstacles: pyramid hips, rails, stairs, benches, things that you'd find in the street, things that you would find in skate parks. So it's a really good mixture of obstacles, and it's really going to cater to every style of skateboarding, whether you skate regular or goofy, so left foot forward or right foot forward as well. But there's a lot of lines, and that means that, you know, back-to-back tricks, that's going to wear you out really, really quickly. So there's going to be a mixture of people approaching this course differently, whether it be big banging tricks or linking lots of tricks together.
Maybe a lot of those technical tricks, such as we see in the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, there you go. Weather on the screen, it's scorching, and it feels a lot hotter than 26 degrees, doesn't it?
Especially the humidity comes into play.
So from watching the women's competition earlier, people were sort of skirting around the outside, middle of the course, not getting used so much, but pyramid hip being a big crowd favorite, especially amongst the skaters. But you can see so many different options on the course, and that huge triple set in the middle there, that's where some big scores have been coming from.
Is that your favorite obstacle today?
I don't know, I like that little weird curved rail on the middle of the driveway. I think that's quirky.
The kicker,
It's going to feel really good. But here's our formats: 8 skaters, 3 minutes, 1 versus 1 battles. Most votes advances, so our judges will be choosing 1 rider from each heat of the head-to-head battle, and only 1 rider can go through. Now, what's interesting is it's going to be the rider, not necessarily the best one, it's going to be who has the best skate in this heat. So you get this 1 chance to do it, and that's what's going to make it really interesting, because the skaters we've got out there on the course from all over the world, anyone could actually go through and get through to the final in the next round.
Suzanne et Alex,
est-ce qu'on peut leur faire du bruit? Getting ready, trying to stay hydrated.
Yeah, introducing our judges. You see up there on the screen, we've got Alex Dacuna from the UK, good friend of mine, Susan Riekers, and Felipe there as well. Some big names know exactly what they're looking for, and they are critiquing everything, whether your toes hanging off your board, how you land, the style that you do it with. You know, you've got how well you do the trick whether you're repeating tricks, that's one thing that you get absolutely scored down for. But like I said about how you get around the course, you've got flow in the middle of that judging criteria as well. But the execution, how well you do it, how difficult the trick is as well, and then consistency. Can you do those tricks back to back over and over again? And then you need to hit every inch of this huge course, which is a massive feat in itself.
I mean, it sounds nearly impossible to hit every feature in those 3 minutes.
That. Like, how are they going to do that? That's so gnarly. But I like this volcano in the middle of the, like kind of right of the screen now. You've got a rail on top of that. I've not seen many people hit it. So we've got France v France coming up first. You'll see Aurélien Giraud and Joseph Garbaccio, Richard Turi and Remco Uckland, Martin Atanasov and Chase Webb, Matthias Del Olio and Max Bergin. We'll see them go down into the next heat, but it looks like Joseph's going straight through. Maybe Aurélien's injured. We haven't got any kind of confirmed news on that, but if so, we'll be going straight into Richard Turi from Slovakia.
We'll try to check in with someone on course to see what happened, what led to the instant qualification for Joseph Garbaccio.
No, they're calling him out. Aurélien Giraud from Lyon, France. I've known this kid for a very long time. He's not a kid anymore. He has been so good from such a young age and has consistently got better and better every time I've seen him skate. He's got those really big tricks, but he's also got the technical tricks as well. So him being an ATV, all-terrain vehicle, he can do a 540 on a 5-foot ramp and then follow it up with a flip-back nose blunt. So, you know, he's really going to be able to tick the boxes of what that judging criteria is.
All right, good luck.
And fellow Frenchman, Joseph Garbaccio, someone else who's just been going strength to strength over the competition circuit in the last few years. Hell of a nollie kickflip on him as well. And I'm super excited to see how each of these skaters approach the course. They have different ways of skating, but they've both got big maneuvers. So Joseph wasted no time getting warmed up. Ollie out to that 50-50 on that hubba. That gap is actually massive. And if you stand up there and look down at that thing, it's like a mountain raising out of the floor towards you. But Aurélien, look at that. Classic hard flip revert. Like, this is warm-up. First trick is that. Okay, fair enough.
Already coming up with the technical maneuvers.
But the thing is, he'll do that, the backside version, down the big set easily. And both of them have got the transition skills to be able to tick all the boxes on this course, because there is quite a lot of transition in there. And when we're saying transition, we mean more of the curves. But be really interested to see what these guys do on the double kink rail, because that did take out a few people. Ivan Federico had a bad slam on that yesterday in qualifications. Would have been nice to see him coming through to this stage of the competition. But it looks like warm-up is over. We're getting ready to get this first battle underway. Oh, I'm getting excited. I've got sweaty palms, mate. That's not just because of the heat in the booth.
There's going to be heat on the park as well.
See that? Both skaters. Wow, nose blunt slide to start it off. Heel flip Indy, taking it straight down to the shoulder. Meanwhile, Joseph is carrying on. That looked like a hell of a slam.
Yeah.
We'll get our medical team to check him out. Back Smith on that. Bump to bar, that's a high bump, 270 lip slide. Joseph not showing any fear. Wow, crooked grind, nollie flip on that out bar. That thing is intimidating.
And the execution of his tricks looks flawless.
You can see everything perfect. It's all bolts. That's both feet over the truck fixings. So good. That's exactly what they want. Oh, there you go. He backing me up. He must have heard me saying he could do the hard flip revert backside version, doing it straight over that huge driveway. And I mean, Aurélien showing he is hard as nails, being able to get up off of that heel flip Indy slam. Wow, big tuck knee, missing the landing on that one. Taking it all the way to flat.
2 minutes.
Here's that replay, center screen, crooked grind, getting that foot ready, just catching the end of the tail there and getting that nollie flip out. And then Aurélien's hard flip revert. The way he hovered that in the air to wait to clear the driveway shows full precision and accuracy and control. Joseph coming back in, tuck knee all the way over. Just taking it to the flat, but keeping that speed going. You got Aurélien gearing up for getting down again. Backside big spin, taking it up. Here we go, check out this replay. Boosting out over the rail, tucking that back leg, getting the proper indie in there. Both skaters getting scorched, and we've still got over a minute remaining. There's that big nollie flip I was telling you about. Aurelian coming through as well. Oh, nollie backside kickflip attempt. See, Aurelian can do those where they kind of do an illusion flip. They'll flip between his legs, and he can do them the other way. So he can basically go, yeah, I'm standing on that no matter what. So Joseph back in, coming in for the big nollie flip. Oh, just slipping off the back of it. No Baker Maker on that one. Aurelian switching it up. Huge front foot catch, 360 kickflip. Big chicken wing, frontside air out onto that wall ride. Look at the catch on that 360 flip, just waiting for it to come around like a waiter with a silver tray of canapes for him. Joseph slowly dismantling the course still. Oh, bigger spin flip coming up. That Wembley gap. That thing's about 2 foot high to get up on there. It's not a small one.
Yeah, reaching for his ribs. He must have hurt himself in that gap earlier on.
And if he has hurt himself that bad and nollie backside kickflips down that triple set that well, you know, that's something. Iron legs. Look at that replay. Center screen, stamping that landing. It looked like he just stepped off the bottom step. That was absolutely bonkers. Wow. These guys are absolutely melting out there. It's a black course, so all that heat is just getting trapped down there. And it's actually sunk down in that waterway as well, so like the wind isn't really getting in there, so there's no respite from that heat.
It's like skating in the Sahara.
It literally is. There's no movement in the wind. France v France starting things off. Not just the football, this is skateboarding as well. Absolutely smashing it out there. That was a hell of a battle, and I don't want to be a judge. That's going to be the hardest job of the day. Well, secondary to skating. Look at that 270 lip slide down that rail, and this is where Aurelian just came through and went, right, I'm going big or going home. Big 360 flip, catching it on that front foot. Look at the control. He's on the way down to the store to get a drink. Like, he's just chilling. So sick.
All right, here we go.
So judges are going to be choosing one skater. How are they going to do that? I think for amount of tricks, Joseph maybe picked him. Whoa, there it is. Yeah, unanimous decision from our judges. And I think it was purely that he put down probably twice as many tricks. Because whilst Aurelian was injured on the floor, he was just like boom, 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 boom. There's 9 tricks.
There's a competition going on.
Yeah. And I mean, you're here to win, right? Everybody's here to get on the podium at least. You're not going to hold up. So, Salmon Rouge, Emil Janico, making his way back up the course. One of our announcers making his way all the way from the USA.
I saw all the judges had the name, but it was misspelled. This is like a jest or something?
Well, I hope not.
It said Jospeh.
Oh, really?
G-O-S-P-E-H.
Maybe there's a little bit of dyslexia going on in the admin room.
Well, we're here to judge skateboarding tricks.
And we're judging the judges,
and we're judging the judges, yeah.
So, on your screen right now, we have Slovakian Richard Turi looking focused. We're going to get a little bit of time on the course to warm up. Someone who has been absolutely dominating the competition scene, and he is consistently up on the podium and in finals. He knows what it takes to put a really good run together, but will he be able to do it in this heat?
Good luck, Friso.
Getting the knucks from our on-site MCs. Richard's actually really good friends with the president of Slovakia, and actually spent a bit of time wrestling him one night at the Olympics, yeah? He made his way to watch him skate at the Olympics in Paris 2024 and ended up in a wrestling match. Not many people can say they did that. Okay, Remco making his way in out of the Netherlands. This is one of the rising stars of skateboarding right now. I've seen him on the Best Foot Forward tours and cruising around Europe, and someone who's consistently putting hard tricks down, not only in video parts, but also out there in the streets. and on Instagram, but in competitions as well. And that's what it takes. And you've just seen what happened in our first heat. You can't hold back. You definitely can't, because this is basically like a final right now. If you hold back, you're probably not going to make it through. Or if you get injured on that first trick as well. But that heel flip Indy, if he'd have put that down, I think Joseph would have been struggling to get through.
I mean, looking at the riders in this finals, a lot of familiar faces. We saw Aurelien last year, Joseph, Richard and Remco as well, and I think Mattias Aloyo, who's rider later on in the 4th battle of the day.
Yeah, I mean, certainly Aurelien and Richard and Matthias, they're out there constantly in the finals. And I mean, that competition experience is what's going to see you through. Being able to stay calm in like stressful situations, skating in front of that amount of people on the side there. Look at that. Absolutely jam-packed on the banks of the River Les. I bet so many people just want to get in that water right now. I was sat over there watching the women's competition earlier and it was scorching.
Yeah, but the water itself, rather murky.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Unless you want to grow some extra appendages. Whoa, frontside tail slide. Oh, Remco coming off of that whoopie rail. And you see there, like, Richard just slowly, methodically going through things, and he's got that heavy heel flip game. Heel flip, frontside lip slide, Remco with the 360 kick flip. So hard to keep up with 2 screens going at once, but we'll do our best. No slide, Biggie out. Kick flip, backside lip slide from Richard. And they're both just on that one side of the course, going trick for trick. Oh, big heel board slide. Remco just missing that kick flip, backside lip slide. Richard's not fallen off yet. That's one thing to note as he makes his way across the rest of the course. Frontside big spin over that pyramid hip. Remco still over on that one side, and what he wants to do is get over to the other side of the course, because use of course is a valid part of that criteria. And classic skateboarder style, you fall off of a trick, you can't walk away from it. You've got to go back. You don't get good at skateboarding by not, you know, walking away. You can't walk away. You have to go back. But that's going to hurt him if he stays over that side of the course for too long. There's a backside tail slide. Is he going to come through for this kickflip back lip again? No, maybe going crooked grind nollie flip. I feel sorry for the other side of the course right now. It's been completely left alone. It's getting lonely over there.
Remco at the big set.
Oh, he's in there. Coming back and getting that feeble done, but only just. Frontside ollie over the doorway gap. Heel flip board slide from Richard. And that is the favorite side. You can see these guys love those rails and their ledges. Richard was trying to get that kickflip frontside board slide on that bump to big rail. I wonder if he's going to come back through. We've got a minute remaining. Yeah, he's just not getting on top of it because that rail's so high. Big shifty flip from Remco. Taking off one side of the pyramid, landing over into the hip. Oh, yes, the oddie body varial. Lovely stuff. Don't get many of those to the pound. Gap out to backside 50-50. The hat's off. Gap out to frontside 50-50. They're going blow for blow right now. Richard's getting caught up with this kickflip front board. I feel like he needs to get this done or walk away after this try. Yeah, he needs to move away from it. Whoa, no, robbed on the landing. Check your pockets. Remco just getting so close to the crooked grind nollie flip out. Richard back in, trying to get that heel flip nose slide. Remco over still on that side. Both skaters are caught up on single tricks right now, wanting to get them done to move on. 2 seconds, 1. This is going to be after time. Wow, okay. I feel like they really should have moved away and maybe got in the centerpiece up on the big double set, but Richard's not known for doing the big tricks. He'll do the big rails, flip in, flip out, yeah, but he's not one for doing the big stair sets. Remco getting caught up in the crooked grind nollie flip out. High scoring tricks, you know, it used to be not that long ago that flipping out of a trick was never seen. It'd be after Black Ender in a video part. We're now commentating it live in competitions. It blows my mind at how big skateboarding's going and the maneuvers that people are doing. It's mind-boggling. because these are things that not that long ago would never be seen. Yet we're seeing it mid-run. But now that is kind of the basic thing that people are doing, people are getting caught up in it, when I feel like he should have stepped away, maybe laid down a few other tricks and came back to it, well, for both skaters as well. We're now eyes on the judges to see who's going to take it. My money's on Richard just by a whisker, maybe, just purely because that first part of the competition. But either could go and I wouldn't be surprised.
It's up to the judges, and it's Richard.
2-1.
Slovakia advancing to the next round.
But you know what? For Remco, this is competition experience. He's out there, he's doing it in front of a crowd in extreme heat on a different kind of course and a completely different competition format. So it's all experience, and that's what he needs to take away from it.
And it was not an unanimous decision by the judging panel. It was Philippe who vouched for Remco.
Yeah. So that great overview of our huge course there. And you can see our commentators on the right show the scale of that stair set. Absolutely huge.
Here we go.
Okay, Martin Atanasov coming in. First rider of our next battle. From Bulgaria, from Petrish. Put some crazy video parts together. Not much going on in the skate scene over there, but he is leading it. A few skate parks have been built there now, and he is at the spearhead of Bulgarian skateboarding, with possibly one of the greatest plazas in the world that he gets to skate as well. Okay.
And that's also
out of the USA.
That's also the beauty of the FISE competition. We have, let's say, maybe sometimes lesser-known riders taking the stage and getting put on a pedestal.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's an open competition. You can get involved. And as you see on the screen right now, warming up, Chase Webb from the USA. Chase has attended a couple of competitions in the UK. I love the way he approaches a course differently than others. He'll see something that no one else has seen, and people will be like, oh, right, okay. Didn't know that that was a thing, but great.
And are we talking about his use of tricks or his use of lines and transfers?
Lines, and like you'll have, this is the great thing about skateboarding. You've got one obstacle, and one person will look at it and go, you can do these tricks. And then someone else will look at it and be like, I can go from here onto that ramp, from somewhere else, and you can do these tricks. And I love it. Like, you know, someone can design a skate park with one purpose and think, okay, people are going to use it like this, and then someone else comes along, like Chase, who's just got a different view on things and will skate it completely differently than it was designed for. And it's going to be exciting to see how he approaches this course. This is another really well-paired battle. Either of these two could take this. I'd love to see either of these two going through to the next rounds. But only one can walk away, which is disappointing, but we are in for a great show. Last chance for a bit of hydration.
And they need it.
Okay, starting down in the shade.
3 minutes, here we go.
3 minutes is so long to do anything. Just if you're at home watching, try and jump up and down for 3 minutes straight. You're going to struggle. Backside disaster on the quarter pipe.
Look at the speed.
There you go.
Chase.
Feeble grind up and along. And I mean, it's that speed you're saying about that gives him access to be able to do those long grinds. Taking it down the rail as well. Martin coming in, half cap heel flip, catching it bolts. Look at that, lip slide on the whoopie rail. Backside Smith grind, making it look way too easy, and double trouble along the rail and down the rail. Chase gearing up for getting down. See him getting that foot ready for that quick pop, backside 50-50, taking it to the front board. That's exactly what I was talking about. That's what he's known for. And doing the backside version of that as well, getting the lock and taking it through to the back lip. Frontside big spin, hanging in there. Oh, 270 board. Coming in off those quarter pipes. Nose blunt slide, 360 flip, just getting that front foot off. Just coming down to that half time spot, and I bet you they are feeling that heat right now. You can see almost some panting going out there on the course. Chase rolling in for speed. Big pop out and over the rail onto the other side. You know, and it's those uses of course for Chase that's going to really push him ahead. But Martin needs to step his game up as well. And crooked grind, fakey backlip, that's a lovely one. Not many people doing that maneuver on the bump to bar. Is that crooked grind? Feeble all the way. Along and down, he was on the scale-electric set right there.
And that's a long kick drill setup.
Huge. Loving that fakey kickflip into the bank. Yeah, getting redemption on the 360 flip over the hip. Both skaters going blow for blow right now. Martin looking like he's dropping in. He's staying over that side of the course like we saw with Richard. Out to front tail, just getting stuck. This is the other thing with extreme heat, the wax melts and it doesn't stay on the obstacles. So you're getting a different move. Wow, that is a huge ollie, bank to bank over that big gap. And that backside Smith grind is a thing of beauty. You need to take a photo, print it out and put it on the wall. That was savage. Back 50 round and taking it to fakey. That's what I want to see. That is where the judges are going to be like, use of course, boom, you can get it. But that gap out tailslide fakey from Martin Atanesov there, that was so good. Check out this replay. Sliding a real long amount of that hubber ledge. And that is going to be time. That was heavy. Oh no, you can't get it done after time. Well, at least he got redemption on it, but that was, I don't know about you, I was struggling to keep up. That was trick, 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 but Chase, back to back. He had
the speed that he's riding
but
with.
He had the flip tricks, he had the long grinds, he had the gaps, he had the transition tricks as well, and that is what this course is lending it to. He's hyped. I pretty much put my money on him, but I'm not a judge. Wow.
All eyes on that judging tower now.
And I mean, it's so hard. When you go head-to-head, like years ago, the competitions I used to enter, you'd be watching other people and be like, oh, actually, I'm supposed to be skating. But you get caught up in it and you never know. And then they'll bring your name out and you're like, really? I didn't think I landed anything. It all goes so quickly. So,
all right, here we go.
What are we going to see from our judges? I think there might, I don't think it's going to be unanimous. Okay, it is. What do I know? Chase going through to the next round.
So only one more battle before we know all our half finalists, semi-finalists.
Check out that back 50. This is where he pops it into the backside lip slide. Choosing not to do it off the nose. A lot of people that do that off the nose, a little bit of a cheeky way of doing it, and then came back through with that long old feeble grind as well. And then here's that gap out to frontside tailside fakie. I mean, it would have been really nice to see Martin go through to the next round, but he had his work cut out for that one. Anyone going against Chase and his use of course, you're going to have to flip in, flip out. You're going to have to do probably 4 more tricks than you should be able to do. But speaking about flipping in and flipping out, our next rider on this course right now, Matias Del Olio from Argentina. Someone who definitely knows his way around the course. He can hit the big hovers, the big rails. He can do the technical stuff as well. And it's going to be very, very interesting to see his approach to this course. But he will be going against Max Bergen. Someone who knows his way around the competition circuit. And this is going to be, I think, a fierce battle. I think, you know, both of these guys are passionate about skateboarding. Matias is, you saw him earlier, he was doing some mind stuff. He's very much a focused skateboarder. And if he comes to win, he's either going to win or hurt himself. You know, he won't take a loss. There's no L's in Matias's dialect. He's just here to really, really take away that first place. And you see, he'll be in his mind. He's constantly focusing on the job at hand. And that seems to work for him. So that lovely 360 flip to warm up. He's one of those guys that comes along, works out a line around the course, does it in qualification, and then slowly sprinkles a bit of sugar on it as the competition goes on, and he steps up each like trick. At one point, he'll do, you know, a 360 flip into a nose slide. Next round, he does 360 flip, nose slide, big spin out. It's like he constantly one-ups himself and keeps the judges on the edge of their seats. Took a first at the STU Open 2024, so he knows how to walk away with that first place. And he knows how to deal with extreme heat as well. Max from Bayonne, France. The third in the Louisville Dam Am 2024. So he knows what it's like to get up on the podium as well. So we are underway. Oh, switch 270 front board and then 270 back lip. Blow for blow, that frontside feeble was absolutely delicious. Blunt backside disaster. Getting it done on the quarter pipe, and it's those in-between tricks that are going to set you apart. Nollie, crooked grind from Matthias. Switch backside lip slide, bigger spin flip from Max over the pyramid hip. Saw him missing that front Smith, but then Matthias came through with a nonny crook. Max taking out the step up with a beautiful, perfect hard flip. Matthias with a 360 kickflip over the driveway. Big spin, frontside, boardside fakie from him as well, and then hitting that whoopie. It's like a sausage on the driveway there. The lip slide. Giving him some room on the course, coming in switch, backside heel flip. Nollie, big spin, lip slide, fakie, coming out forward. A lot of people take that trick to fakie. Big flip front board to fakie. Matthias getting it done on the gap out to big hover. Frontside ollie out onto that wall ride. Hanging on to that crooked grind across that driveway rail. Almost follow a leader across the course here. Max needs to get back in there. All the way along and down, back on it. Yes! That shows full control. He had the cross lock on that nollie. 270 heel flip over that pyramid hip from Matthias as well. Hard flip back lip, wow! Max has put in so many flip-in tricks on that bump to rail. Big spin front board, shove it out. That was so perfect. Big flip, frontside, boardside fakie. I'm going to blow my voice out by the end of this one. Everybody is so consistent on the course right now. Hard flip back 180. Wow, we're down to that last minute. What are we going to see? Both skaters just taking a bit of a breather. And rightly so. That was a barrage of back-to-back tricks. Coming in, switch to the driveway. Big switch heel flip. Are you kidding me? He caught that so crazy. Gap out, crooked grind. Blow for blow right now on the course. Missing that feeble grind up. Max needs to get another trick in. And he's going to be, I think, slightly ahead on tricks. Coming back and getting redemption on that up to frontside Smith grind on the big rail. Half cap, nose slide, nollie heel flip out, not getting it. Switch front feeble down the little rail. Max is silently just taking a spanner and dismantling the course with his skateboard right now. So good. 360 flip, he's done every trick ever done up that Euro gap right now. And that is going to be time. Coming in, cab, back lip, and taking a lie down. That was brutal. And in this heat, that many tricks, I can't believe it. And anyone who's going to be going through to the next round, okay, we've got a small break, but you're going to be blowing yourself out in this heat. That amount of tricks going down, that must have been like 25 tricks each. That's bonkers, absolutely bonkers.
And still after this, if one of them advances to finals, that's 2 more battles that they have to ride.
Yeah.
The number 2 and number 3 of FISE Montpellier last year. But only one will advance into the next round and compete against Chase Webb.
That's what's so gnarly about this competition format. Only one can go. When you've got that level, you know, either one of these were in the other rounds, they probably would have taken that heat. But it's going to be so exciting, the next heat. And I can't call it because, I don't know, I was trying to keep up, but Matthias got a lot of flip tricks in, maybe not enough flip tricks out, I'm not sure.
Matthias the bronze from last year. Max Berquin, the silver. but who will have a shot at gold?
Oh, Max taking it. I think that's a good call. I think that's a good call for sure. He's going to be hyped, but now he needs to get in the shade, drink 8 liters of water,
apply sunscreen,
put some sunscreen on, and just rest for a minute and let that lactic acid dissipate from his legs. There's that 360 flip over the driveway, and then Max started off cross-locking that 50-50, backside 180 out. Started front side, came out backside, and then this switch heel flip was absolutely crazy. Little bit of a hang up, but that's not going to hurt too much. There's another view of that. It's good enough to watch twice for sure. Hard flip, backside lip slide. Made that look way too easy.
All right, your next battle coming up.
Okay, we will be right back after some of the highlights of the first heat. So if you're just tuning in, this is FISE Montpellier, the skateboard streets, less battle. And one thing's for sure, we know our top 4 for today: Joseph Carpaccio, Richard Turi, Chase Webb, and Max Bergin for the next final.
I mean, if you saw that barrage of badass that just went down, the next heats are going to be so exciting.
Susan and Damien, thanks to our timers. And merci pour tous les bénévoles de FISE. Thank you, William. All the workers at FISE couldn't do it without you.
And welcome back to the first stop of the FISE World Series. And of course, we're here where it all began, in Montpellier, here in the south of France. We just wrapped up the first rounds of the less battle, the knockout battle that we have in the skateboarding. And we're getting ready for the next riders to compete. Joseph Carpaccio, who won his fight against Aurélien Giraud, and Richard Turi, who got the upper hand in the fight against Remco Erkeland.
I'm loving this entrance, rolling in, cruising across the course.
Like gladiators.
Yeah. And I mean, there is a gladiator battle going on, certainly in this heat today. Joseph Carpaccio from France. Someone who's just, you know, he's not just an Instagram skater. He can really put it down when it comes to it. And someone else who can really put together a good run is Richard Turi. But something I want to see Richard do is move away from that one side of the course. He needs to hit up the driveway more. He needs more quarter pipe tricks. And he needs to get down that big gap to hover. I'd like to see him heel flip in onto that thing. I mean, it is pretty gnarly, but he needs to get better use of course, because Joseph uses every single square foot of this course, and it is ginormous. 720 square meters of skate park, 45 meters by 15. It's a big, big way. You can see that all the way over to the other side, taking so long, and that's when your time is just running down, getting to one end of the skate park. And if you get caught up in one side, and you're doing that classic can't walk away from it skateboarder thing, you know, all the best to you, because you really need to get on and use the rest of the course. And you can see everyone who used the course in such a different way has done well to get through. But Richard has made it this far, and he definitely wants to see himself on that podium.
The last seconds of warming up. Even though it's like, it feels like 30 degrees.
Easy. And down there where there's no breeze as well. It's a good day to wear black, I feel. We'll be on a black course as well.
I mean, if you want to sweat 3 liters, yeah.
And it certainly looks like Joseph has sweat about 4.5 liters out of his t-shirt so far. You better wring that thing out for sure. And Richard Turi, Eye of the Tiger, where we're going to go with this one. It's going to be a close call. Two different style skaters. Joseph starting off with that gap out nose blunt slide. Richard backside tail slide on the bump to rail. Big frontside air from Joseph as well. Heel flip front lip. 360 flip up the Wembley gap. Trick for trick right now. See, I'd like to see Richard turn around with a backside disaster or a feeble or something. Wow, you could have zipped him up in a suitcase then. That tuck beat was real good. Richard, big spin heel, board slide. This is where he needs to move away from that centerpiece. Get on the pyramid hip. Get down those big stairs. Beautiful backside Smith grind from Joseph there. 270 lip. Yeah, Richard taking it over the hip. See that replay on the tuck knee, so good. Crooked grind, frontside 180 out. Maybe chose not to do the nollie flip out this time. Sometimes you just can't get your foot ready. Nollie backside kick flip. Richard into that centerpiece. Out to backside 50-50 on the gap hover. Taking his way back across. We're going to see him get over the hip. Yeah, coming in nollie position. Just missing that nollie frontside heel flip 180. Joseph coming in that nollie flip position. First go. The catch on that was ridiculous. Check out this replay, center screen, wallop. You're not going to get much better than that. Top class. Backside big spin as well. Richard, heel flip, frontside tailside fakie. That's Richard's rail over there. If you look real close, he's signed it and everything. When they take that down, they post it back to him. Oh, just missed the kickflip frontside board slide. He's having such a hard time with that trick, but I feel like he's going to have to let it go because that's going to hang over him. Crooked nollie flip. Wow! The way he hovered in the air to let that flip then shows pure class. Whoa, going for the nollie front foot flip. Check out that nollie flip out of that. Nearly landing primo. That's on the edge of your board, and that's just going to snap your ankles. Kickflip front board, yes, Richard getting it done, and Joseph down the big triple set. Wow, here's Richard, center screen, kickflip frontside board slide, landing absolutely perfect. Joseph up to nose, Manny, all the way,
and back.
Coming back. It was a big 360 flip that Joseph did down that triple set. Gap 50-50, we spoke about the judges' criteria. Doing a repetition, a repeated trick is going to score those tricks down. Whoa, the laser heel. Check out Shrimp Daddy for a lovely laser heel video. Oh, kickflip India would be lovely. Heel flip board, getting away from him. Slow-mo on a non-made nose manny. I suppose he got down the bank, that'll be scored. I was hoping he'd go back down the Wembley gap on that. That was absolutely bonkers. So hard to keep up with. Two of the most consistent skateboarders. But for me, Joseph had a mixture of tech and big tricks. The 360 flip was absolutely perfect, as was the nollie flip. But the crooked grind nollie flip on the out rail, backside Smith on the big bump to rail, for me, he took it. But at the same time, Richard, heel flip tailside fakie, heel flip lip slide, big spin heel forward slide, gap out 50-50. They're big tricks, and sitting on that judges bench is going to be a tough one right now. I'm sure they're having a little bit of an argument over who's going to take it. Pouring with sweat out there on the banks of the River Les, Montpellier. Here we go. No, unanimous. Joseph Garbaccio going through to the next round, and rightly so. Do you know what? I said about it at the beginning on our intro. You need to skate everything. And I think him being able to do the grabs and the quarter pipe tricks, you know, and airing over that center volcano on this course, that's going to give him the edge. And just as I was speaking of it, look at that tuck knee. Big fan of that one. Knee down on the board. But Richard putting on a great show. Heel flip tailside fakie, but things like that nollie flip, there ain't many people doing that down there, and there's a reason. That is so gnarly. Here's that crooked grind nollie flip. See him getting that foot ready, catching the tail of the board in the pocket there with the back foot. Richard coming through. Classic heel flip, frontside lip slide. So we're going to go on to our next battle and see who's going through. And who will be going through to battle Richard Turi for that third place.
The small final.
So gnarly, skating so many times. It's not a small final, it's a big final, but it's still the small version.
I mean, there's a lot of stake. I mean, being in the big final, that means you are on the podium.
Yeah, for sure.
The battle for silver or gold.
But
the smile final.
Still not over. Still got that small final to see if he can get on that podium, claw away. Okay, Chase Webb making his entrance. And that's another person. I mean, if we were to see a final, I'm not calling it, but if we were to see a final between Joseph and Chase, I think we're going to need a lie down afterwards. I think we'll be sweating here in the booth. We'll probably need a lie down. We might need surgery. It will be extreme to keep up. But the amount of tricks that Max did in that one heat, anyone can take it. And it's, again, two different style skaters who have got the ability to skate this course entirely as it's been designed. The champion song on.
So in 4 minutes time, we're gonna find out, is this gonna be the battle of the Frenchies? Or is this gonna be a cross-Atlantic duel?
Yeah, it's certainly gonna be tense. And I'm really excited to see if any of these guys have been holding anything back. I doubt it at this point in the competition. I don't think you've got the luxury of holding any tricks back. If you want to get on that podium, you're going to have to throw everything, including the kitchen sink. Maybe even dismantle the bath and chuck that in there as well. As long as it's a cold one. Casually cruising along with the 360 flip. But with Chase's ability, like on the long rail, feeble grind, he's doing the 50-50, into the lip slide as well, and he's got those big gaps that no one else is doing. Is he going to be able to keep up with Max's technical ability? This is the thing, and I think the judges are going to be looking at this in two different ways, like use, of course, technical ability, but their criteria has to still be met, and if you don't tick one of those boxes, that'll be their reason to not score you high, I think. And that's maybe what they're looking at now, is why won't we be putting this person through to the next hit?
3, 2, 1, and we're off.
Chase getting a powerful push in to start things off. There's that lip slide, making that look way, way too easy. There's Max front feeble on that out rail, taking the feeble up and along across that kinky rail. Front Smith popping out early. Certainly looking good so far. Over onto the hip with a bigger spin flip. You saw him practice just spinning that round, not quite getting it, but when it counts, he can put it down. Up to back Smith, not quite getting the dip, but it'll be counted. Hard flip, backside revert. Chase coming in and eyeing up this kink rail. He's going along. Oh, he's missed that back truck. This could be Max's point to shine right now. If he knows that Chase has fallen, what he's got to do is chuck a couple of tricks in there. But Chase straight back in, back 50, taking front 180 out off the kink into the bank, keeping that speed up, coming down to 2 minutes. Both skaters getting so many tricks done, taking that line up and down across the rail. Max taking a revert, slowing himself down a bit. Backside tail slide. This is so hard to call right now. Still a minute and a half remaining. 50-50, ollieing out early. You can tell he wasn't quite on the rail right and getting a beautiful 360 kickflip. Chase coming in hot, frontside ollie out onto that wall ride. I bet that felt so good, but that gap ollie out of that transition over the rail, bit of a shifty on it as well. Hard flip backside lip slide from Max. It is hard to keep up. They are pretty much trick for trick right now. Feeble along and down again. Look at that, locked in, holding it in place, taking it to the heel to pop out. Whoa, taking a gnarly slam on a 360 flip. Gap out, crooked grind, getting it done. I really feel like Chase needs to step up a little bit more. Needs to get a couple more tricks in. Camel aerial backside, lip slide fakie. Out of the bump, onto the bar. Big spin front board, shove landing bolts. Chase taking it down the kinky rail. Check this out, center screen, back 50-50, popping it into the backside tail slide. You don't see that too often. Max forgetting how to drop in. He's getting that speed up, back 50-50, coming off on the double kinker, 360 flip, lip slide on the buzzer. Wow, that was heavy, heavy skateboarding from both there. But Max was so consistent. You'd see Chase fall off, look around, Max done 3 tricks in that gap. And I think that's what's going to take it. Really good use of course. Max getting caught up over on that one side. That could be a bit of a disadvantage while Chase was taking those transfers out onto the wall ride, doing those big gap ollies. It's going to be a tough one to call. My money's on Max on this one. There's a big barrage of tricks going down, but it's those flip in and the spin in and spin out. Kick flipping out of any trick is so hard. And then the front feebles and all sorts, all the hardest of tricks going down. So moments away from finding out whether Chase or Max is going to go through to our final to battle Joseph Baccio. All eyes are on that judge's booth right now. Wow, unanimous. Max taking it and going through to battle Joseph Baccio in our final. That means Chase Webb will be in our small final as well. This is going to be a heavy final here at FISE Montpellier 2025. It's heating up in the booth, but it's definitely heating up on the course as well.
So we're going to get ready for the small final and big final later on.
Hang on, we got a 5-minute break.
So it's going to be a battle of the Frenchies, the Champions League of skateboarding.
Start that timer, 5 minutes.
On a 5 minutes de pause avant la petite finale. Chase Webb.
Wow, that was so good. And we are in for an absolute shocker of a final. Joseph versus Max. We will have Richard and Chase before that. Chase has got a tough job. He's going to have to skate straight away again, right?
If he has the heavy moves.
So let's check out what went down.
all the heat that went on in that second heat. Wow. So for the small final, we'll be having Richard Jury and Chase Webb, but the grand finale to wrap up this Battle of Last will be Max Bergin against Joseph Garbaccio. Absolutely.
It's going to be so heavy. I mean, both skaters are going to be properly going for it, and I can't wait. And the home crowd is absolutely electric out there.
Yeah. Now, Mark, what are you doing on the 11th of July?
I don't know, not much booked in.
Well, Activision is going to be releasing the new Tony Hawk Pro Skater game, 3 and 4.
Yeah, what an amazing game. I mean, all of the history from those games, and you know, I remember sitting and having pre-drinks and just hanging out. We're hammering the controller playing Tony Hawk's 1, and to see 3 and 4 coming out as well, I can't wait.
I mean, the impact that the game has had. I mean, there's the music that has left a legacy. There's bands, like cover bands now, touring around the world, playing the songs from Tony Hawk 1 and 2, from 3 and 4 as well. I mean, it's insane how a game has changed the sport.
Yeah, it's really bridged the gap between people who don't skate and do skate. They can finally do some skateboarding without hurting themselves and maybe do these tricks that no one ever thought of. And that's the thing that's crazy to me, is we're seeing combos that were done exclusively in the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater games being done on the course here at FISE Montpellier. You know, combos, all sorts of crazy stuff. And to me, that blows my mind. It really does.
Yeah, like 20 years ago, doing a flip into a grind or a flip out of a grind, that was, like, no one was doing it.
Yeah, and doing these real long grinds and down these kinked rails and things that were, you know, only in the game. Now you're seeing people do that in video parts and stuff. It's really bridged that gap. But, as you said, the music as well. Like, that's a big deal. People really got into the music. We've got, like you said, the cover bands. You know, shout out to the 900 in the UK. They put on a great show. There's people making money out of the music. There's people making money out of the games. And there's skateboarders. You know, the popularity of skateboarding being shone by those games as well. There's people making a living, so it's definitely a good thing.
So thank you to all the Tony Hawk games for making this possible.
Thanks to Tony Hawk for everything. He opened the door and let us all walk through behind him. You know, such a great ambassador for the sport. And without him, I don't know if things might be different.
Totally. Absolutely. So let's see.
So, small final, Richard Turi versus Chase Webb. That can go anyway. Richard's got all of those crazy tech tricks. Chase has got that use of course, and he's got those big ollies and hits up the kick rail as well. Joseph versus Max, going to be heavy as well. And we're moments away of finding out who's going to take those results.
Well, there's definitely a winner today, and that is all the people that love skateboarding. And I think it's a French skateboarding scene that's winning today, with Joseph Garbaccio and Max Bergin in the grand final.
Yeah, for sure. And both of them aren't going to take an L. They're going to go for everything. Joseph has been on top form on your screens right now. We've got Richard Turi making it back into the park again. You can see the amount of sweat running down his back. It is very hot out there. This is going to be his third skate of the day.
So after his battle with Remco and his battle with Joseph, it's time for his final to have his shot at the bronze medal here at FISE Montpellier.
And yesterday, we had that battle with Alex Holford from the UK as well. Alex is a crazy skater, so he did well to get through. Making his way with an ollie 1 foot. But Chase Webb out of the USA. Yeah, California. See, this one, two opposite sides of the scale. Super tech, super creative. And I feel like, you know, if I could split my eyes and just watch one skater with my right eye, one skater with my left eye, you'd be in for a crazy show. But I think you'd end up pretty hospitalized in that way. But it's going to be so good because you're going to get both aspects of skateboarding. You know, all of the latest flip in, flip out stuff from Richard, and then all of this creativity and different transfers and use of course from Chase. See him warming up on the course, just checking out a few lines. And that's what's interesting to me with Chase is if he's taken a wrong line or come off a little bit weird and going in a different direction, no matter what's in front of him, he'll do a trick on it. Like, he'll just make it up as it comes in front of him. He'll turn around and be like, oh, ledge, Smith grind. Like, that's what I love about his skateboarding. He's very creative and he looks at things very differently than anyone else. And then Richard, very methodical. He'll work a line out and he goes and he does the tricks he knows he can do. I know he's got so many more tricks as well, but he does what works for him because it consistently gets him on the podium. And that's what he's going to want to do, you know, and try and get that third place out here in Montpellier this year. Last few adjustments. The interesting thing is with a lot of heat, your bushings on your board get really supple, so it feels a lot more wobbly on your board. So you might be tightening up your trucks, and the wax doesn't slide as well because it melts. But both skaters coming in hard back tail there. So the lip slide on the sausage rail. Feeble grind up and across. Heel flip frontside lip slide from Richard. Chase always, he clears that first bit of the rail, lands on the upslope, and then takes it across as well. Kick flip backside lip slide from Richard. And he's just reeling them off right now. Big heel board slide. There's all the Richard Turi favourites there. Taking it up onto the big rail with the backside Smith grind. Chase got so much pop. Frontside big spin over that pyramid hip. Chase coming in to the first hit. Not sure what he did then. Maybe just an ollie back into a 50-50 on that kink rail.
There was a camera nearby, so we might see it in the replay.
Heel flip frontside tailside fakie from Richard, nearly colliding with Chase, but that's exactly what I said. Something comes along, takes a different line, and he's like, boom, I just ollie up the stairs. Just missing that 270 lip slider. Richard coming in, taking it over to the other side of the park, which is what we want to see. Oh, just missing that 270 lip again. Chase struggling.
So we just got the info that the sausage rail is actually something that we can find in the city of Montpellier as well as a piece of roundabout art.
That classic Montpellier architecture getting replicated on the course.
Even the bike path.
Missing the crooked grind there. Things that you would usually make, you know, when you come down to skating in this heat and for this long, it starts getting a bit harder. There you go, finally getting that 270 lip slide down the rail. Depending on what generation you're born in, it could be a 270 switch front board. I prefer the lip slide. So Richard Turi coming back into the big rail. Oh, stamping down that landing. Kickflip frontside board slide. Chase with that ollie over the rail, straight into the board slide. Backing it up with the back 50. 3 tricks back to back. Here's that replay of that big transfer. You see that board slide, then he took it straight into the backside 50-50, but somehow managed to hang off the side of it. Coming down to that last 20 seconds. Back 50, ollieing in. Richard just missing that one. This is the stuff I love about Chase. There's just an obstacle. He's like, ah, just do a frontside flip. Like, go with whatever's in front of us. Coming down to that last 10. Last chance to get those tricks in. Back 50-50, frontside 180 out. Richard on the rail, and that is going to be time. Sneaking in that heel flip blunt slide. I think Richard was way more consistent on that one. He struggled with a couple of tricks, but got it done. And then Chase just missing things like the crooked grind, things that you would just cruise along and knock out. He's struggling, I think, with this heat. Paddling out. I think Richard's looking pretty good. Seen all of the favourites, the heel flip tail slide, heel flip lip slide, big spin heel board slide, kick flip backside lip slide. You know, he's got all of those tricks completely dialed. And the backing of the Slovakian president. You know, when you've got him sat on your side, you're going to skate well.
But only one can get on that podium.
It's all smiles out there, but eyes are on those judges at the moment. Here we go.
Chase.
Okay, Chase just taking it. Wow, heavy. He is hyped. Probably hyped that he doesn't need to skate again. He can have a sit down for a bit. That's a great result out there. For me, my money was on Richard on that one though, just purely from the amount of tricks he did. But I guess they saw something in Chase's skating. His use of course probably ticked that box and put in a heavy load on that. So we're down to one final battle, mate.
The super final.
And this is going to be a super final. We got Joseph Garbaccio. His nollie flip in the last heat down the triple set and the 360 flip. That's what he's going to need to repeat on this one to be able to keep Max from taking that first place spot. But Max seems to be on possibly the best form I've seen him on in a while. And he's so consistent as Joseph makes his way up to say hello to the crowd. Either way, Team France is winning today. And it's coming down to technical ability, use of course, and consistency for me. They're the three things that I see are ticking the boxes and getting someone through to the next round, but there's nowhere else to go now. It's just to find out who's going to be taking that win. And second place, as Max Bergin makes his way in.
Max Bergin from the south of France, from Bayonne.
He's going to be used to this heat and used to this crowd. I mean, it's worth saying, it's not easy to skate in front of a crowd like that. Yeah, you feel the adrenaline and everything, but people are watching you. So, going to take a few seconds to warm up. I'm pretty sure it's warm. Get those ligaments lubricated and ready to shreddy. And I want to see different tricks. I know people are going to do their staples, like that bigger spin flip over the hip, but I want to see a switch up. I want to see different grabs, different transfers, and that is what's going to wow those judges. You know, it's going to be so close, this final. It's so well matched. Both skaters have definitely deserved to get through to this part of the competition, but I want to see different.
Earlier in this broadcast, you mentioned something about the 540 grabs that one of them was doing?
Yeah, like Aurelian's able to do like a 540, and that's what sets him apart. But, you know, Joseph took the win from him because he fell, I feel. And that's the thing with Aurelian. He's kind of having a battle with himself. And when he falls, his tricks are so big that you get messed up.
Is there a trick from Joseph or Max that we haven't seen yet?
I think we're getting the staple stuff from both skaters, but I know they've got more tricks in there. And it's whether... Do you know what? I think if both skaters start off well, then they're going to go, okay, I've got some room to be able to put in a banger. And I think both skaters are going to start off as they have before. Looks like Joseph's going to start off with the nose blunt gap out on the big hubba, which is such a big statement at the beginning. And that's going to build up that extra power as well. So here we go, Joseph coming in, gap nose blunt slide. Every go, it is unfair how consistent he is at that. And then the switch 270 front board, and followed up by the front feeble on the gap out rail. 360 flip up that Euro gap. Big frontside Smith grind on that big high rail. Both skaters blow for blow right now. There's that tuck knee and the bigger spin flip. See, this is where Joseph will start edging away because he's using those transitions. There's the big spin. Hard flip, easy as you like. There's that replay of that big frontside Smith grind. But Joseph back in. There's that tuck knee, giving the knee a little touch on the nose. There's that roundabout rail frontside lip slide. Joseph cruising across that left side of the park, up to back Smith, but missing the front foot. It looked like he thought he'd landed that one. But Max coming through with the nollie big spin, backside lip slide fakie, 270 lip. Coming over the hip, hard flip revert. Oh, big time. Crooked grind, nollie flip out from Joseph Garbaccio. Oh, landing primo.
Fatigue must be kicking in now. They already did 2 runs.
Yeah, they've got to be feeling the burn. They need to stay breathing, get that lactic acid out of the legs. I mean, that's half the battle, being able to skate for this long. There's the hard flip revert. We see the replay, crooked grind, nollie flip out. Just picking up some loose change off the flat bottom. Oh, getting robbed on the landing of the nollie flip. He stopped dead on that paint then. Max coming in, gap out, crooked grind. Stamping that landing down. We're going to see this nollie flip. Yes, we are hanging in there. Big tricks like that is what is needed to be done. Hard flip back lip. Redemption on the nollie backside kickflip. Big spin front board, shove it. Wow. Back to back. There's that gap out crooked grind. This is so close right now. But those big tricks like that nollie flip are so powerful. Just having a little breather, coming in hot, gap to harbor. Oh, going for the front 780 switch crook. That's a big trick and that could seal the deal. Double kicker, front 50-50, back 780 out off the end. Both skaters choosing not to skate that yet so far. Oh, slipping off the back. He's got 15 seconds to get that done. Kickflip, crooked grind. Max is on a tear up right now. And we got 5 seconds to see if we can see this front 780 switch crooked grind from Joseph Garbaccio. And he's got it on the buzzer. Wow. That was absolutely out of control. So hard to keep up and so many big tricks. And like I said, we saw a switch up towards the end of the heat there. That front 780 switch crook was crazy. And he still wants more. Wow. If you took your eye off of one of those skaters, you missed 2 tricks. It was so hard to see any of the replays, so hard because both skaters were putting down a trick every 2 seconds, it looked like, on that run. Wow. This level of skateboarding is so high, and it's very easy to get lulled into a false sense of security and be like, yeah, I could do that at home. No, you can't. This is so difficult. It's that these guys are so good at their art that they make it look that easy. Massive props to Joseph and Max. Incredible skateboarding.
That was an amazing battle.
And I know they've got more as well.
All right, Louis, do the countdown.
Now, Joseph hitting the transitions a little bit more, could maybe edge it, but there is no way I could call this one. Oh, Joseph Garbaccio taking the win at FISE Montpellier 2025. Look at that. Great scenes out here by the Riverlets. What an incredible final.
And what a battle that was here at the Les. But it's France that takes the win.
Max, why don't you say second place? Say something in his crowd.
Taking both the silver and gold medal.
Say something in his crowd.
Max, once again, second place here at FISE Montpellier. But it's Joseph Garbaccio who takes the win.
Franchement, juste merci pour l'ambiance, pour le soutien au quotidien et franchement, merci, merci pour tout, merci.
And Max wants to thank everyone for the atmosphere, the ambiance.
But this is what I was talking about. Joseph Use, of course, he hit up those transitions as well as the big tricks like this crooked grind nollie flip out. But what a show Max put on. Check out this locked up frontside 50-50, backside 180 out, down the rail. But I think this is what sealed the deal.
All right, that was an amazing
Frontside 180
battle
switch, crooked grind, or the fakey crooks.
That was an amazing battle here. That was an amazing battle here at FISE Montpellier 2025. We have our men's skateboard pro winner right here. Favorite right here for my main man, Joseph Garbaccio!
All right, Joseph, why don't you say something to this crowd here?
I hope it fits. It's looking good on that little finger.
That looks great.
Such a good prize, that. Something you can keep forever.
All right, Joseph, I'll tell you what. You are the champion here. I know you've been skating hard all weekend. You won the high ollie contest. How does it feel to be the winner out here?
Ça fait du bien. J'ai été blessé, je me suis blessé au FISE justement il y a 2-3 mois. C'était la première blessure que j'avais en 20 ans de skate, la première vraie blessure. Ça me tenait à cœur de revenir devant le public français, de le faire bien. Et je pense que c'est réussi. J'ai fait la finale avec un de mes meilleurs potes, Max. C'était trop cool. J'ai pas skaté à 100% comme je le voulais. Je suis un peu tombé, mais je l'emporte quand même. Donc merci beaucoup à vous pour tout le soutien. C'était une semaine de fou. Et voilà, l'année prochaine, restez comme vous êtes.
Congratulations, man. Big love.
So what?
One more time for your winner, Joseph Garbaccio.
So just to wrap up what Joseph just said, he's glad to be here. He got injured a couple months earlier at FISE Macau, if I'm not mistaken. So it felt really good to be back here on the stage at FISE Montpellier, and he was really happy to do these finals with his good friend, Max Barguin. He was not feeling 100%, but he's really happy that he took the win.
Yeah, good to see him come back from that injury in Macau. Looked like it never happened. You know, as a skateboarder, you're either getting over an injury or just setting yourself up for the next injury. And that's the thing, you know, especially in the competition circuit. There's so many competitions now. You're constantly trying to get over that injury and stay fresh for the next competition.
Now, about setting up for next contest, next events, what are you doing in October?
Well, I'm hoping for a call, to be honest.
Is that the call for FISE Shanghai?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, these FISE competitions are so much fun. To be in the booth calling them is an absolute pleasure because the level of skateboarding is out of control.
And it's not only skateboarding, we're having some extra events as well, such as rock climbing. We're having a spine ramp too in Shanghai. So let's find a bit more about FISE Shanghai from 16th October till 20th October. Welcome to this FISE World Series here in Shanghai.
One of the greatest cities in the world. FISE Shanghai, let them hear you!
All right, ladies.
So that's for the next stop of the FISE World Series, but we still have to wrap up some other events at this FISE Montpellier. After this, we still have the parkour, men and women's speedrun and freestyle. And then to close off this weekend, we have the BMX Flatland Championships. Mark?
Still loads to go. It's been an absolute pleasure to be in the booth with you, mate. And what a great final. Skateboarding is the best.
Okay. Was fun having you on the stream as well. See you next time.